Hi everybody, welcome to another one of our series of videos of helping people to be the best version of themselves. A few videos ago we talked about flying, phobias and going on holidays and how it affected us and could spoil our holidays. But today I'd just like to talk about phobias in general, and what prompted that was I was listening to Radio 2 recently, a few weeks ago actually, and I don't know who's familiar with Radio 2, but you had Chris Evans, it was his show, and Vassos. And Vassos had a massive phobia apparently of snakes. So they had a hypnotherapist involved to work with him for a week to alleviate his phobia and his fear of snakes. And apparently it was very, very extreme. So that's there if you want to go and catch up with it somewhere. You'll find it online, I'm sure. It prompted me to write a blog, which is on my website, and it's about phobias. And it took me back to a client that I had who was afraid of spiders, very afraid. He had quite extreme fear of spiders. So we know that a fear turns into a phobia. It becomes so extreme that people can't, they'll react in different ways, irrational ways if you like, and it'll create different feelings inside their bodies. This chap was afraid of the smallest little spiders, and we did a session which was about an hour and 10 minutes long, and we used a few different techniques. And I remember him opening his eyes at the end of the session and saying, "That was really weird." And I said, "Weird nice or weird not nice?" He said, "Neither, it was just weird." And I said, "Okay." Anyway, he left the session. We never followed up on any sessions again. But it was probably about 9 months later. I'd had a few little messages along the way to say he'd cleared out a shed and things, which he wouldn't have done before. And he sent me a picture. And you can find that on my website, I believe. And he's there and he's holding a tarantula on his hand. And yeah, he doesn't look ultra comfortable with it, but he's still holding a tarantula. Now, when you consider that his phobia was intense, where his blood pressure would rise and his skin he'd have to scratch his skin because it was such a fear that was going on inside of himself, to standing there holding a tarantula. Now, that was honestly done in about 1 hour and 10 minutes. And I've had many people come in for similar things. And spider phobias, one lady I do remember was her parents were really afraid that a spider came into the car when she was driving. I can imagine if somebody's that intensely afraid, that could cause a tragedy. It could be an accident beyond thinking about. But when you're back in control, you don't have to hold tarantulas, but you could be able to cope with a spider in your environment, a snake in your environment, whatever phobias you've got. Lifts is another one. People are afraid of lifts. So you can imagine, and taking the stairs isn't a bad thing, by the way, it's probably better for your health. But sometimes we have no alternative and we have to get into an elevator or a lift to go somewhere. People get into a real state. So there are techniques out there, and one which is quite familiar to people is called the rewind technique, which is an NLP technique. Some will argue it's not NLP, it's other things. But there are things you can combine together. And that's what I did with this chap with the fear or the phobia of spiders. We combined a few different techniques. And he was able to just move his mindset in a different way, so that he could decide and choose whether he wanted to hold a spider or not. We never worked on that. We never worked on him holding a tarantula. That's something he did himself over a period of time. And that's what's great about the subconscious part of the mind. When it is ready, it will make the changes that work best for you. It's just having the understanding, the awareness, the tools and the techniques, so that you set yourself free. Now, I've had lots of people saying to me, flying, if we go back to that, "Steve, you've cured me." And I said, "Well, that's a lovely concept, but I can't cure you. Only you can make a difference to yourself." What I do is I facilitate the change within people. I help them. I guide them. I give them tools and techniques which they can use for life. or we work together, sometimes on a regular basis, sometimes over a period of time. Depends what the person wants out of their lives. But to be the best version of you and be free of your fears and your phobias, you need to get hold of me. And let's learn some things together, because we're always learning. Life is a learning curve. Every day there's something new to learn. And when you learn something new about yourself, your life will become that little bit more extraordinary. And that's what's good about the work I do. And I love it. So I look forward to seeing you on our next video. And I hope you've enjoyed the information you've had today.